Welcome CSE 112 class. This is Professor Homa. This is part 2 of our Microsoft Word interface intro. This won't take very long because I just wanted to wrap up a couple things that I may have rushed at the end of the other one because I got to my 5-minute limit on these Jing tutorials that I'm able to record. So lucky for you, it only limits me to 5 minutes. Otherwise you'd be watching like a half-hour video. Alright, just a couple things to wrap up with the interface here. We'll talk about using Word, but just a couple things about the interface. We mentioned the ribbon, which is this area here with your tabs. Quick access toolbar up at the top. We have your minimize. We have your restore down, which will make it a kind of like a floating window, and your close button, which will actually close the whole application. So keep in mind, if you have multiple windows open, if you do this, it will actually close the application. So that'll quit out of the application. There's a help button, and there's actually the hide ribbon button, which that's good to know in case you click it by accident and you don't know where your ribbon went. Your rulers are here along the side and across the top. You can hide them by going into view. If you didn't want your rulers for whatever reason, you can hide them. There's also view options down here to zoom in and zoom out of your document using a little slider down here depending what you're looking at. There's also views down here, which are the same views that are showing over here. Print layout, full screen, web layout, outline draft. I pretty much work in print layout, which it just looks like your 8.5 by 11 page. That's what's showing up down here. This is called your status bar down at the bottom, this little area. And other than these view options here, you also have spell check. So let's say I spelled some wrong, and notice there's a little wavy line that indicates it might be a word that's spelled wrong. If you weren't sure about it, you could go down here to your little dictionary and it'll give you some options of another word other than assume. You could say, oh, I put 2 O's on some, and you could just change it right there. The green wavy line is usually your grammar issues, which may pop up where you see down there. And you'll also see your page number and also your number of words in a document. And you could change different things at view here, but those are the basic things you'll see in your status bar. So your status bar, your hide ribbon, your help, your maximize, minimize, close. Also what you're going to do here is you're going to use this file tab to save things. If you do file, save as, and you can see here we have this information document panel. This is called Backstage View. It's a little different with 2010 than earlier versions. So if you ever get in here and you just looked around and you want to get out of here, just click on a tab and you'll get out. But if you wanted to save something, you could go in here and do save as, and it would save normally like you would save other programs. You would look for this file right here. Here's a folder. You could go into your documents. Here's my documents. Double click on my documents and it's showing what's in my documents. Here's CSE 112R1. I'll double click on there. I'll go into Word, and this is just called this is some type, and this will actually save this as one of the things you may want to check is Word document. If you're working in 2010, it's going to put the docx extension on it. Even though it won't show it right here, it'll be your docx. If you wanted to save down as an older version, notice there is Word 97 2003 document. So if you had to send it to somebody who's just working in Word 2003 or an older version, or maybe an older Mac version or something, you may want to save it down so it's just the .doc. And if you have any question about it, just use that one. Just use an older version if you're not sure. There's a lot of different formats here. PDF, you could save Word files as PDF files, as rich text format, which sometimes universities and colleges and community colleges will use for people to save their papers as, so that if you don't have Word, they can be opened by other word processing programs. So that's where you would save this. So if I'm just going to save this as a Word document right now called this is some type. I'll just leave it the way it is and I'll hit save, and then my document will show up at the top. So again, just some basic terminology here. If I want to close out of here, I could just use the red X and close out. So that's about it with Word right now. We'll review some other things as far as downloading files from Blackboard and opening up in Word, but for now that's your basic little overview of Word. Hopefully maybe you don't have to read as much in the book. I'll give you the terminology and you could watch these videos and you should be ready to go come next class. So thanks for watching these. I'll see you guys in class.